everyone, it's Desiree, and I am back with another design team project for Birch Press Designs. So these are the items that we're going to be playing with today, and I mean play. This is going to be awesome. So I'm going to be using all 3 layers of splash. I'm going to be using the Big Best sugar script. So it's a 2 layer, so it has that background and then the sentiment on top. And then I'm going to be using the Best Friend clear stamp set. Now there are dies that match with this for the best, the well, and the friend. But I'm not going to use those. I'm just going to be stamping small sentiment from it. But you can see the difference in the 3 layers. So let's play with these. So these are what the 3 dies look like. So they get intricate, more and more intricate as you go through the layers. So I chose 3 colors. I chose a navy blue, a purple, and a lighter purple, sticking with the cool tones. So you can see you have 6 pieces here. Now I'm grabbing a piece of white paper because of course I chose dark colors on my black mat. So let's just make these pop up for you. So you can see that these can work on their own. You can see other I mean, at least as I'm looking at them, I'm seeing other things that I can do with these dies, other things that you can create. So, you know, sometimes when we look at a die, we kind of stop there and we look at this and say, oh, well, this is just a layering die. It needs all of these. Yes, if you're going for the look that I'm going for right now, absolutely. You need to have all 3 dies to make this look good. Now, if you are very experienced with these dies as well, again, they are layering. So I have found, since this one has that center out of it, if I put my fingers inside of that and on the outside of it, when it's layered, it'll snap together. So if you think you're going to go off, or if you think you're going to go off center, no. Just by taking, and you'll see when I put this last piece down, I place it down, I make sure it's on the side, and then you can see I pick it up and it's like I pinch it. I give it a side pinch. That just layers them so that they're almost like a chipboard, a piece of chipboard, when we do that with our sentiments. So I have the outer ring put together, and I placed an acrylic block on top of that just to, you know, make sure that everything was adhered. I am using liquid glue. I do find that's best. I did speed through this section here because, again, it's the same process. It's just the difference in size. Again, I'm giving it an outside pinch to make sure that everything's laying evenly on top of each other. And now I'm going to put my acrylic block on top of that. Here's what I really like about this. And you're going to see it at the end. Now, it's like a piece of puzzle. Boop! You just pop that right in there, and it stays there. Okay, it's not going to go anywhere. But what I really like about these dies, I pulled out a piece of ivory cardstock, and it's a standard A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 top folding. When you put this down on the card, and I'm going to let you decide, does it look like the design is coming up at you? Or does it look like that it's going down into your card? That is what I really like about these dies, all of these dies, and the way that when they create these layers and when you use the different colored cardstock, it gives you just a completely different look. It doesn't look like a piecing on your card. It looks like it's actually part of your card base. So on to the sentiment. So I grabbed the best, the sentiment of it. I'm just covering it in Versamark ink. I'm just going to dip it into my embossing powder. I did choose Ranger's liquid platform, and I'm going to have a grand old time trying to heat set this. Just before I let that go, it went flying across my table because I just didn't want any marks with my tweezers. So I'm trying to avoid that. It was an extremely fun process because here comes the little tiny stick with a little bit of repositional tape on the back there. And actually that worked. I should have done it from the beginning. I just like doing, you know, she makes it look so easy. We all know who I'm talking about. Yeah. things were flying across the room. I stamped a smaller sentiment. You can see it there on the right. It says "to the." But when you do these multiple layers of embossing powders, it's just like it's liquid. It's just a piece of metal, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So once that finally cooled, you need to let them cool just a little bit. I'm going to place that on the backdrop for the sentiment. And I did choose the dark blue cardstock that's in my splash in that upper left-hand corner. I am going to set an acrylic block down on that, impatient, push it down, make sure that it sticks. Just going to remove some of the excess glue. And first, before I adhere those two that I have, I am going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. It's another thing that I love with all of these pieces. From such simple concepts that we have, a sentiment stamp set, a sentiment die, a layering die. There's so many different things and different ways that they can be put together. So from the same clear stamp set, I chose Friend. I grabbed my embossing pen and just added 3 dots to help accent that. I did heat set that, and I did use the liquid platinum as well. So my card is going to say "to the best," and then when you open it, it's going to say "Friend." So I'm going to adhere the best die cut just using some liquid glue. I am going to pop up the "to the" or "to the," whichever way you like to say it, with some double-sided foam tape, only because there is a lot of height when it comes to the best. I've got 2 layers of cardstock, and I've got 2 rounds of embossing powder. I'm going to make sure that's positioned straight. And that is our card. So that's on the inside. You can see how much it's raised. I'm actually going to turn this to the side. Of course, I have it sped up so you didn't see that. But if you look at that, it just looks like it's going in or it's coming up. So those kaleidoscopes, I love those kaleidoscopes. I think they're really cool. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else that's coming out. Of course, there will be more designs using these dies and products by Birch Press Designs. I will be up over on their blog, so make sure you check that out, and make sure you get notified when new posts are there as well. If you should have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope everyone, and of course the things that I used will be linked as well down in the video description. But of course, if you have any questions that I missed something, just please let me know and I'll make sure you get those links. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed your weekend as we start a new week. But always remember what's most important. Always be creative. Creative.